Entrepreneurs, you have to work it. Stay close.
If there's something on your mind, let's talk about it.
It's showtime! Welcome to the Let's Talk Show. I'm your host, Pastor Shea. Stay close. Single, saved, and free.
Balance is the adjustment between two opposing forces. But there are some spiritual bipolar people.
My church, my city, the Trinity is like my steering committee.
You will never overcome rejection until you embrace no.
Same sanctified ones that said, crucify her. She deserves to be in jail.
I always say faith will never make sense and sense will never make faith.
Something on your mind.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show today. Listen, the month of January has been dedicated to the entrepreneur. We've been spending time empowering, educating, and equipping entrepreneurs, giving them information to help them be better. Today, we want to talk about the topic sales. As an entrepreneur, your first primary job is sales. In the studio today to help us talk about sales is the person that has 20 plus years of experience in the sales industry in the person of Camille Robinson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today, Miss Camille?
I'm just lovely.
20 plus years in the sales industry. Tell us a little bit about that.
20 plus years. I found my passion, not even looking for my passion, way back in a couple years ago in sales. And I just made it a career.
You made it a career. So you stumbled upon sales? Is that what happened?
Yes, I was looking for a job and I found a career.
Wow, that is awesome, awesome. So today we want to, all month we've been dealing with different various topics to empower entrepreneurs. Last week we released a show that really helped entrepreneurs decide if they have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We titled that "So You Want to Be an Entrepreneur," and then we have another show that's going to be talking about branding. What's all the fuss about? And so today I want to talk with you about sales because I believe that above and beyond entrepreneurs who call themselves CEOs and founders and presidents, of small businesses, but really their first primary focus is sales. What are some of the sales skills an entrepreneur should have?
Well, you really have to have great listening skills as an entrepreneur.
That's good.
Because if you don't have great listening skills, you're not gonna be able to make a sale.
Right.
You have to have very good listening skills, and you have to be a go-getter. You can't be a person who someone says, "Nah, let me think about it," and you just say, "Okay." That's not gonna work.
Oh, wow. So listening and a go-getter. Anything else?
Yes. And I would say you have to be persistent.
Persistent.
You have to be very persistent and determined to make that sale. When you're speaking with a customer or a client, you have to let them know that, okay, this is my product and this is what I'm offering to you. You have to let them know what the benefits are so that when you leave there, they're interested enough to go move forward with the sale.
Oh, that's interesting. So what you basically described was that during the sales pitch, and I'm going to come back to this maybe a little later in the show if we have time, that you don't just talk about the product itself. Like I'm trying to sell you a product, but you actually sell them the benefits of the product.
Absolutely. You never want to sell them the product. You want to sell them all the benefits of the product. First of all, what I do with sales is I listen to their pain. In exercising, they say no pain, no gain.
Right.
Same thing with sales. No pain, no gain. You have to find their pain points in sales because if there's no pain points, if there's not a problem, then you can't offer them a solution.
True, true.
So you want to find the need.
True. Should an entrepreneur, when it comes to finding prospect, should an entrepreneur, when they find potential prospects, and we're going to talk about, I want you to give us some of the ways to find prospects. Should they automatically dive in with their product, or should they build a rapport? Should they build a relationship? Walk us through how that happens.
The best thing to do when you find someone that you're interested in selling something is to build a relationship.
That's good.
Because if you don't have a relationship with someone, they're not going to want to do anything with you.
That's true.
I mean, if you focus on building a relationship, the sales process will happen.
It will just follow.
Yes, because the person will build trust in you.
That's good. What are some of the things you did to build relationship with some of your prospects?
Well, when I first started out in sales, I was back when cell phones first came out.
Right.
And I worked for a technology company back then, and I sold pretty much everybody that came on my line a cell phone.
Oh, wow.
4 or 5 of them.
Wow. One for your mama, one for your brother.
Yes, I really did. And, I told them the benefits of a cell phone, how they can leave home and still be able to receive calls, and they bought into it.
Wow.
They bought into my sales pitch. And so I just kept pushing in that area.
Okay. Now, was your sales pitch more scripted when you were doing this, meaning that you followed a script? If they say this, then say this. If they do this, do that.
No, you got to customize your own.
That's good.
In sales, you'll get a sales script depending on what company you work for. But you have to be able to customize your own sales script, because if they say this and you're going by a sales script, then you're going to be stuck, because you're going to be like, oh, what do I say next?
Right. So pretty much you have to customize your sales script.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So talk to me about, so now I'm a new prospect and you're trying to sell me, you're trying to build a rapport for me, or build a rapport with me. You're trying to establish a relationship with me because you want to sell to me this product. Tell me, what do you do first? Before you even talk about the product, what it is that you say to me?
Well, the first thing I do is I pretty much introduce myself and let them know the purpose for me visiting, because I want them to be aware of the why I'm visiting.
Right.
I don't want them to say, well, she's here for this, or maybe she's here for this. I want them to be well aware of why I'm visiting.
Right.
And then I ask them a little questions about their self. I introduce myself. I give a brief synopsis about myself. And then I ask them, tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you have kids?
That's good.
And so I want to know about them. And I keep that as a mental note in my head. So, for example, if someone says, well, yeah, I have a son, Noah. He's 2 years old. He just started daycare. I'm going to remember that throughout the sales process, because I want to reference Noah again, because when you talk about what someone has a passion about, their children, then they remember that, oh, she really cares about,
Oh, wow. It goes above and beyond.
Yes.
And so that builds a rapport. And then now you can ease your way and say, oh, by the way,
yes,
I have these products here, and more than likely you nail the sale. Give me some tips on how to find prospects. So I'm a new entrepreneur. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that's going to be watching this. They small business owners. They just started. God has given them a great idea, and now they have to market it. But they have to go find prospect. They have to go find that customer. Give me some tips, some practical things that an entrepreneur can do to find prospects.
Well, I would say my number one thing would be to use your friends and your family first. Those are the best individuals to find prospects. And from there, you'll go into, depending upon what your religion is, you'll go through your churches. And then from there, I would look into the local chamber of commerce.
That's good.
I would look into any business networking groups. For example, I was a member of Tampa JC's, which is a junior chamber of commerce.
Right.
And their purpose is to train and give individuals leadership skills while doing community work. Mm-hmm. So when you join those organizations, you begin to know lots of individuals. And then those organizations, they have mailing lists, which particularly you can get your information out on the mailing list if you're a small business.
Oh, wow. So,
yes.
So plug it into Chambers of Commerce, finding business and networking group. Now, the first thing you mentioned, I cringed at just a little bit, and that was the family and friends. You talked about the family and friends. Now, are you saying look into your family and friends to sell the products, or that they become individuals to help notify the community that this product is coming?
Right. You don't want to sell them the product.
Thank you. Please clarify that. They are not your customers.
You do not want to sell them the product,
yes.
But you do want them to be a representative of your product.
That's good. Because a lot of people think Pookie them and, the family is going to be the one making the money. But to be honest, the family is not the ones who's going to be selling your product. Now, we live in this era where social media has really taken off. I mean, it's taking the world by storm. How can we maximize the social media platforms to find prospects?
Well, LinkedIn is
Yes.
a great tool for it. Also Facebook. A lot of individuals get on Facebook. I don't use Facebook as much for business purposes. I use LinkedIn. I actually had a meeting on this past Friday with an individual who reached out to me trying to sell his products. But, I entertained him because he did take the time to reach out to me. He had a very interesting product. I had never heard of the company before. And so he reached out to me and asked me a couple times, if I had a few minutes where we can have a lunch date and
Right. Mm-hmm.
he can discuss, what he has to offer. He didn't necessarily come out with a sales pitch then. He just
Right.
asked me if I would go out on a lunch date so he can better understand my business.
That's good.
Which was very good.
Good strategy.
Because that's what you want to do. You want to tell them that you want to better understand their business.
Right. And so when we pull on LinkedIn and some of these social media platforms like maybe Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook, of course, right? Facebook now has business pages. You can create shops on Facebook. You can create Facebook ads. What are some of the things? How do we use it though? I mean, give me some practical tips we can do. Is it just the Facebook ads? Is it creating a business page? What are some of the things we can do to begin to identify that prospect customer?
Well, what I do is I reach out to the individuals on my LinkedIn. For example, if I friend you, I have access to all your friends. I may not know any of your friends, but I have access to them. So I can actually send all of them an email and invite them to a lunch. Or, if I'm having an event, invite them to an event. Or send them a link to my Facebook page, so that they can find out more about my business.
That's good.
On my website.
Wow. A lot of people think that, I know there are entrepreneurs who probably make this mistake of just putting a flyer up, putting their service and their products on a flyer and putting it in social media. But is that enough to land it, to close the sale with a customer?
No, it's really not going to be enough. You really got to be out, talking to individuals. You really have to market yourself, and not only you market yourself, but you have to have the individuals around you to market you.
That's good.
So, for example, the necklace you have on. If, for example, you were a person who
we
sold
selling this,
necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every individual that knows you, every time someone says, "Oh, I need to go get me a necklace," they think of you instantly and say, "Oh, I know someone who has a necklace. Let me provide you with her information."
Wow, that's interesting. So it's coming up with this methodology of training the people around you,
Right.
to be like your little mini sales your little mini salespeople, if you will, for free.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. What else? What else can we do with social media?
Social media. Wow, you can do so much. You can create blogs to talk about your business.
That's good.
For example, if you have, let's say, a service business, you can talk about your service business, give all the history of the service business, how much money that particular service generates on a yearly basis, and point to some different organizations where people can get additional resources from that blog.
Oh, wow. That's nice. They're using blogs. Facebook ads. Have you used them?
Facebook ads are good, and they do generate a lot of money, a lot of revenue and customer interest.
That's good. That's good. Facebook ads. Oh, wow. That's awesome. 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 So what are some of the mistakes entrepreneurs make in selecting prospects? Like, what are some of the things we do wrong as entrepreneurs when we're going after customers?
Well, I would say one of the things that we do wrong is we'll reach out to someone and then wait for them to contact us back.
Oh, wow.
Not following up.
Wow. Follow up.
Yes.
Follow up, follow through. Wow. Wow. So we reach out and then we don't follow up. What else? What else do we do as entrepreneurs?
We drive right into sales. I mean, I meet you and then day one, I'm trying to sell you my product. Hi, my name's Camille. I'm selling a necklace. Let me sell you this. It's blue, it's purple, and it'll look very good on you.
Right. So do you believe that's because as entrepreneurs, we haven't been trained in the area of sales that, the sale doesn't start with the product. It starts with the relationship.
It does, yes.
Oh, wow. That's some good stuff. The sale does not start with the product. It starts with a relationship. And you know, I could, you know, let's talk real. I could understand why entrepreneurs, when they meet people, they will want to push the sale because that's their livelihood. That's their bread and butter.
Yes.
And so they look, I ain't got time to be hanging out with you for a week. I'm trying to nail this sale. But let's talk about that because that's a mistake. We can't do that if you're gonna nail sales. Unless you're selling lemonade or something on the corner.
Well, as I came up through sales, and it was a process for me as well, I got to a position where I was able to take my customers out to dinner, take them out to shows and different things like that so that I could build a relationship with them through those. And sometimes you actually have to spend money to make money.
Oh, wow.
In sales.
Awesome. Stay close. We'll be right back. Do you have a business idea that you're struggling to get started? I've designed a program that will take your business idea from inception to ready to launch in just 6 weeks. The PIM program is a state-of-the-art program that will not only help you navigate through the steps to get your business started, but will equip you with the tools you need to stay relevant in your industry. So if you are ready to take your business idea to the next level, contact us today. Welcome to the show. Listen, guys, if you're just tuning into today's broadcast, I've been sitting down talking with Camille Robinson, who has 20 plus years in the sales industry. And we've just been talking about some of the tips on how to find prospects and some of the mistakes we make when finding prospects, trying to nail the sale before establishing a relationship. Tell us a fun time. Give us a fun scenario when you, just working with a customer and nailing a sale.
Well, let me see. I've had so many of those. Let's see. My most recent one, working with a customer. I had actually a customer reach out to me recently. And they were referred over to me through contact that knew me. And I thought they were just calling me up just to say hello. And so we went out to lunch because they invited me out to lunch. Didn't say the reason why. I just thought it was just a little networking group.
Right.
And then at the end of the business meeting, they were like, oh, yeah, by the way, I have this place that I need some help on. And we were looking at your company and we wanted to make sure that you guys were our first choice. And she already had her contract and wanted me to draw up a contract in contrast to hers. And I thought it was real funny because it was something that I didn't expect and I didn't work for.
Oh, wow. So it just showed up. But you often say this to me that a lot of the business you get is not because you advertise at all. A lot of the business you get comes from word of mouth. Let's talk about the power of testimonials, word of mouth.
Word of mouth is very, very powerful. I had one customer in our business, and we had done some work for this particular company. It's a large restaurant chain in Tampa. Actually, they're nationwide, and one of their managers was very pleased with what we did, and they went to their meeting to talk about our company. And all of a sudden, every manager from these restaurants kept calling me.
Wow. So that word of mouth, it spread like wildfire.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
More than I would have thought.
More than you would expect.
Yes.
Wow. How important is it to, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm trying to nail the first sale. Let's say I've done the networking to establish relationship. I know your son name is Noah, 2 years old, about to turn 3 tomorrow. I've done that. I've done the homework. I learned about you. I've learned about your company. I've done everything that the business journals and the books tells me to do. How important is it now to offer an incentive to close the first sale? Or is it even required?
Well, starting out, I did offer incentives, 10% off and 15% off. And you have to make sure that when you're doing that you price yourself so that you can make great revenue from that as well. You don't want to give an incentive and then you're like short because you've given the incentive, not taking into account that it costs this amount to do the job, and not to mention if you're paying someone else to work on that job as well.
Right.
So you want to make sure it can be very good to attract some customers. Like if you want a large flow of customers to come in at once, that can be very good and lucrative.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's awesome. So incentives are good.
Yes.
Just don't overdo it.
Yes.
Don't don't give away everything free. And then, cause I think a lot of time individuals offer incentive with the hope to generate a large customer base, right? But if you generate too much of a customer base on that incentive, that could almost cause you to go broke.
Yes. And it can cost you a lot of headache behind it too.
Right.
Because you could put yourself into a position where you have too much business.
That's good. Right.
And
But
not
you
enough
can't
help.
Because the incentive opens up the door. What are some of the top sale killers? Top sale killers. What are some of the things that entrepreneurs do you would consider top sale killers? And when I'm talking top sale killers, I'm going to give you the first one. I'm trying to sell your product, but you don't have a professional demeanor. What are some of the other top sale killers out there?
One of my most, what I would say the top sales killer would be talk your customer out of buying your product. Yeah.
How do you talk your customer out of buying your product?
Well, because you're talking with your customer and they come with, well, this may be because of this, and then you agree with them. No, you don't never want to agree with them in a negative aspect of your business. You want to come back with a positive aspect.
Wow. So just in the middle of a conversation.
Because sometimes customers will say, well, that's kind of expensive.
And then you say, oh, I know.
Yes, it is kind of expensive. No, you never want to say it's kind of expensive.
Wow. So let's onset. And I want to talk to you in a couple of minutes a little bit about the importance of networking and how even in networking you can generate sales for entrepreneurs. Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs don't, maybe some of them don't like networking, but networking has power if you utilize it right.
Very good power.
But let's do this. Let's do role play on the set. Let's do a real role play of you selling me the necklace that I'm wearing, right? Walk me through what that looks like.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, Sherry. My name's Camille. How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm here today just to sit down and chat with you a little bit about today's activity. And I wanted to take the time to learn more about you. Before I do so, I just want to tell you a little about me. I have 2 children, Candace and Jaquez, and I am married. I've been married for about 7 years, and don't have any dogs or cats, but I'm working on that.
No dog and cat.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Sherry Major. I have a dog. His name is Mr. Horatio. And I have a talk show.
Okay, talk show. Tell me a little bit about your talk show.
Well, my talk show is all about dealing with taboo topics that impact the churches, our families, and our communities.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you have a dog, right?
I do have a dog.
Horatio?
Yeah.
Do you ever bring your dog on the show?
On the show? No.
Well, you kind of stumped there for a second, but I have a reason for asking you that. Do you ever have shows with pets?
No, I've never had a show with a pet.
Okay.
So I got to think if there's any community issues impacting our pets.
That might be a great idea to have a show with a pet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Producers, take note. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. That's a lovely bracelet you have on.
Thank you. It's 100% wood.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow. My company offers wood bracelets, wood necklaces similar to that will look very well with that.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have samples with you?
Absolutely. Let me pull those out. But before I do so, Horatio, how old did you say he was?
I didn't.
How old is he?
It's about 5 years.
5 years?
I had him for about 5 years.
5 years?
From a puppy, yeah.
Oh, wow. We offer bracelets for the pets, too, as well.
Wow, so we get a matching bracelets.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So I have these bracelets for yourself, and then you can check out the bracelets for your pet to see if you guys like these.
Wow, nice. So, and we'll end the scenario there. So pretty much, you engage in a dialogue. But what I liked about what you did, though, was you kept the focus on me. You never took the focus on your company, on what it is you did, until the right moment. And then you worked it in. You worked in your sales pitch to information I gave you. So in other words, an entrepreneur that is sitting in a sales session have to be able to take the information they heard, goes back to you. The first thing you said, they must have listening skills, and then literally work that into their presentation. And the reason I believe that is so important is because you move from just being an introduction. You are now tapping into something that is near and dear to my heart. And most times, people's pet, they're going to buy, they treat them, they say they treat people's pet just like human beings.
Yes, absolutely.
Nicely done. Nicely done. And more than likely, they'll be like, oh, you got one for a ratio? Sure. Maybe walking down the road and me and my pet got matching bracelets, you know what I mean? And so that's awesome. But the point to take away out of that though is to really build the rapport and pull me into the conversation and make sure that I am the prospect is important. What I love is important to you, and you pulled it in. Nicely done. Very, very nicely done. So now let's talk about networking. There's so many networking events. I mean, hundreds, even in the local Tampa Bay area. There's hundreds to pick from. First of all, as an entrepreneur, how do you even begin to go through the maze of all of the networking business events and identify one that would be beneficial for me? How do we do that?
Well, what I do is, like you said, there's a whole lot. There's so many groups that you can join that cost money, and you don't want to actually go out and join every group.
Right.
It costs money to join the chamber. It costs money to join a lot of the network groups.
Right. Mm-hmm.
My first advice would be to look online at some of the meetup groups that don't cost money, and then find some of the organizations that are familiar to you as a woman, for example.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So, I mean, you have women organizations that are out there, and a lot of those organizations, they don't cost. They have causes for women. Same thing with men. They have men organizations out there as well.
Right.
So that's the area I would tell individuals to start in.
Right. Or look for, because actually a lot of the advertising for a lot of the mixers, you really don't know what industry they're really focusing in unless you are joining a networking group that meets monthly, and then you sort of have an objective. But a lot of the mixers, is just bringing together like-minded people, business people that will come together to have that conversation. And so pretty much you basically say, look at basically networking groups that may appeal to me as a female, or networking groups that may appeal to my business, the type of business I want to go into, or networking groups that may just be a bunch of people that are just way smarter than me, that I just want to go in and get a little bit more business savvy knowledge.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now so now let's say I found this networking group, and I'm sort of changing the questions like this for a purpose. Because a lot of time we can have a dialogue and people walk away with no application. They walk away with nothing that they can go back with and apply. And so I'm trying to make sure that the entrepreneurs that will watch this show, that we give them information to that they can really go tomorrow and utilize in their business. And so you agree that it's important for entrepreneurs to network.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands down, right?
Hands
no
down,
question.
No questions asked.
An entrepreneur that is not networking is?
They're not promoting their business. You're your own first marketing.
That's good. That's good.
You have to market yourself, and the cheapest and easiest way to market yourself is to have other individuals market you.
That's awesome.
And you can do that by reaching out to individuals on your Facebook, reaching out to individuals on your LinkedIn, and setting up one-on-ones with them. Hey, I just want to get together with you, have a one-on-one, learn a little bit more about your business and how I can benefit your business.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so we are now at a networking function. And you may have that entrepreneur there, they're coming up. They don't really know all the business lingo. They're not really comfortable with, maybe even talking. They're not shy, but they just don't know. You get in a business setting, they may not know what to say. So what can they say? How can they start the conversation? What are some of the things that they should ask? What's some of the questions they should ask to maximize the moment in a conversation with an individual?
I would always start with an introduction. I would walk up to an individual and say, "Hi, my name's Camille Robinson. Did you say your name was George?" Because the person never said their name, and so that'll instantly open up a conversation with them.
That's good.
I mean, of course, you don't want to go to a woman and say, "Did you say your name was George?"
They're like, "Are you saying that?" I don't think that would not be right, Camille.
But
you meant Georgia. I'm sorry.
But you want to have an icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
Yeah,
Good.
you want to go to them and have an icebreaker.
So come up with some type of icebreaker. That's good. Then what else? What else can they do to maximize that 7-minute conversation?
And they want to go and learn as much as they can about that individual, because remember, it's not about you, it's about them. You want to learn about that individual, and your next contact with them should be one-on-one in a more intimate setting so that they can learn more about you.
Wow. So, by definition, when you think of networking, it's a time of exchanging of information between individuals. And so now my focus is not me always. Y'all like my business card? My focus is not so quick, right? To hand you a business card. It's not so quick to say, oh, here's what I do. And then I just begin to talk about, my company sells this and no, you're saying that is the wrong approach.
It is the wrong approach, because people will lose interest very quickly, especially if you take that whole 7 minutes to just talk about yourself.
Wow.
Most people say they're full of it.
Oh, wow.
And toss the business card.
Wow.
When you finish a conversation and you're networking with the individual, they should be asking you, do you have a business card? Do you have a number? Facebook, you're on LinkedIn? They should be asking you those questions.
Wow. So when that's a good sign that, you're about to create a relationship.
Absolutely.
Wow. So stay away from always pushing business cards into people's faces right out the gate, and really just have a conversation with them. And the purpose of that conversation, entrepreneurs, is what I'm hearing Camille say, is when you and within that 7 minutes, they talk about the 7-minute rule, is that you find out everything you possibly need to know about that person. Tell me why. Tell me one reason why that is important. Not from a sales perspective only, but what other reasons?
Well, because it helps to build a relationship.
Right.
I mean, in that 7 minutes, you need to know what you can find out about this individual, so that when you speak with them again, this relationship that you're getting ready to move into will actually start, and it'll kindle into a positive relationship.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So none of this pushing business cards and being overzealous and overbearing on an individual. That's interesting, but I was thinking about something just now, but the follow-up, and then immediately follow up with them.
Absolutely. Within 24 hours, you should be sending that individual that you took their business card an email saying, hi, it was nice to meet you at such and such event. I look forward to connecting with you again.
Within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours, yes. Wow. Because you want that person to be able to remember you.
Oh, wow. So because it's so fresh. I just met them, make a connection with that email.
Right. Because if you're at a business event, there's probably hundreds of people there handing out business cards, and sometimes it's hard for you to remember all those individuals. So the individuals that stand out are the individuals who are actually going to follow up with you.
That's right. Would you agree that also one of the things that we learn from having that conversation with those individuals is I may be an entrepreneur that is in a service oriented business, in a business consulting role. And you may be an entrepreneur that is actually providing a service in a different format, tangible service, if you will. And right now, we may not see how we can help each other. But by having that conversation, and because you did follow up with me, I sort of built the rapport with you and say, wait a minute, I know somebody who do exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So now you build this place of referral. Let's talk about that a little bit. The importance of how those conversations can also generate prospects for other people, not just yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, you really want to do that. The actual last couple contracts that I signed were not relationships that were direct relationships. They were relationships that were referred to me from other individuals.
Wow.
So those relationships are very important. Having individuals market who you are. You want them to be your cheerleaders. Back
to that, yes. Yeah. That's your sentiment for this whole conversation.
Yes.
Get other people to really sell you versus you selling yourself.
Yes, you want them to be your cheerleader.
Wow. As we get ready to wrap this up, give me look into that camera for a minute and talk to an entrepreneur who's saying, you know what, I'm starting business, and I need to get my product out there. I need to differentiate my product from the rest. give them some practical things they can do that they can actually walk away right now and utilize.
Okay. So the first thing I would do is I would do research. You have access to the internet. I would research. If you want your product to be different, you're going to have to do research. Not only on the internet, Facebook, LinkedIn, you're going to have to talk to friends, you're going to have to talk to family, and then you're going to have to come up with a design on your product, on why this product is going to be different from the last.
It's good.
You're going to have to do that. That's going to be very key into being a business that'll stand out.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So pretty much just, and the packaging of your products and services is important. You talked about that earlier, about making sure that we sell not the product itself, but we sell the benefits of why that product exists.
Absolutely. You want to sell the benefits of the product because the product will sell itself. You have to sell the benefits to an individual to get them interested in buying your service. For example, if I am looking for, let's say, a hat, and everyone knows what a hat does. It covers your head.
Right.
But as an individual who's selling this hat, I want to tell you all the benefits of this hat. This hat is not the ordinary hat. This hat protects your head in the winter. It protects your head in the summer and also in the rain. Your hair, even when you go to the hairdresser, will not get wet if you have this hat on. You want to be able to sell your product and make it different from everyone else.
Where can I buy that hat? That sounds like a real good that sounds like a real good hat. It was summer, winter, and in the rain.
Yes.
What kind of hat is that? Yeah,
not to mention, you can wear that hat swimming and it still won't get your hair wet.
What kind of multi-purpose? What kind of multi-purpose hat is that?
So you want to focus on just making sure that your product stands out from the rest. You want to make sure that the facts that you put out there are true, though. You don't just want to come and make up some stuff about a product.
I can't deliver.
And can't deliver. You don't want to say your hair won't get wet while swimming in this hat and then someone jump in the water and their hair is wet. You want to make sure, because the internet is very powerful. It could be powerful in a negative way or powerful in a positive way.
That's right.
You want to make sure that you're putting the right information out there.
That's right. How important it is for, and a couple of more questions and we'll wrap up, but two things came to mind as you were talking about, because, you could tweet, don't buy XYZ hat. Yes. Your hair will get wet. And it'll just blow up over social media, and all of a sudden your sales just begin to plummet in declines because of that. But how important it is to capture and publicize testimonials. So not just word of mouth by individuals talking, but literally getting somebody to write it down and sign their name on it.
It's very, very, very powerful. There is a list. I'm trying to think of the name of this list. Sheila's list, not Craig's list, but there's a list.
Kelly's list? No, not Kelly.
Not Kelly's list. Angie's list. That's the name of it.
Sheila, Kelly, Angie's
list. Angie's list. You can actually send your customers to Angie's list, and they can actually do a review for you that'll go online, which is very powerful because a lot of people do use lists like Angie's list when they're looking for individuals and the services. Good. Yes,
that's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. So but Angie's list is not free though. It's a paid subscription,
but
right?
the testimonials are free.
Oh.
Yes. It's a paid subscription for you and I.
From a business perspective.
Yes.
But individuals can go there and leave their testimonials.
For free.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very important. Final question for you as it relates to sales, and we covered a lot of ground here, is we gotta for 1 second, one little incy second, touch on pricing. Because you can't be selling the hat that you're talking about. You can't be selling that hat for $100, or maybe you can. Like, tell me one of the pitfalls when it comes to pricing and sales for entrepreneurs.
Well, you have to be very confident in pricing, especially as a new entrepreneur. A lot of new entrepreneurs we are afraid to put out the prices that we really want to charge.
That's good.
We add discounts on top of discounts, and we end up making a little because we're thinking, oh, they won't pay this for it.
You're right.
That is wrong. You have to be confident. If you say your price is $500, your price is $500. If you say your price is $700, $1,000, $2,000, you have to be confident in your prices. Because when someone sees that you're confident in the prices, if someone sees that you're confident and you're not backing down because they're coming back with, wow, that's kind of pricey, you know, I could get that cheaper somewhere else, you stand firm on your pricing.
And don't back down.
Right.
Well, the typical entrepreneur is like, look, I need to make a sale. And so they discount really low just to nail that sale.
But the sales, they'll come to you. You have to be confident on your pricing. Now, if you feel like you want to add a discount in, I would wait almost to the end to see what this customer is going to do before I actually throw something in. Because that may make them change their mind at the last minute. And that may give them an incentive to sign the contract right away.
Versus walking away and saying your price is
right.
too high.
Well, let me think about it or talk about it. You know, if you feel like someone's going to walk out the door, that's your time to say, okay, well, tell you what, I have a special promotion going on. It's for today only. You have to put a time limit on it.
Because you just made it up.
It's for today only.
Come on.
So if you want to go ahead and sign this contract and talk to your business partner, just give me a call. Let me know what they say. I already have a contract, so I can go ahead and put this through. If I don't hear from you, it'll go ahead and go through.
Oh, awesome. Which was really my last question. You know, the last question on the last question was closing the sale. Give me some tips on closing that sale.
Don't walk out the door without a contract signed. Because if you do that, sale is not closed. If they sell, they have to talk to their business partner, their husband, their wife, whoever they got to talk to.
Yes.
Do not walk out the door without having that contract signed.
Oh, wow.
Because the sale is not closed until you have a signature on that contract.
Wow. So, couple of tips. Give me ways to close. So you can close how? Give me some closing tips.
Well, you can close. What I would say is I would get with them and I would just do a hard close, you know, basically.
Because you used to doing hard close.
Do a hard close.
You want this or not?
I'm just doing a hard close. Basically, what I need you to do, and what I do is I go over the contract. I make sure that they understand exactly what I'm selling. I go over the contract with them. I let them know down to the date. Today is this date. This is where you sign at. Here's a pen. Would you like blue or black ink? And all I need is a signature right here on the contract.
Oh, wow. Any reason why you don't want to sign today? You know, let us know.
No, I don't ask them questions.
Oh, you don't? Oh, no. You don't?
Mm-mm. Because I don't want to give them a reason to think of a reason why they don't want to sign today.
That's some good stuff. I don't want to give them a reason to think of a reason why they don't want to sign this contract. So you really just go in for the kill. You say, listen, I've explained it. You know, here's where you sign. Mm-hmm. Sign, you know, expect.
And I do get a lot of individuals who say, well, let me kind of think about it. And I'm big on saying, you know what? Okay, I understand. You got to think about it. But this is what we're going to do. You go ahead and sign this contract. Go back to the office. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. Give me a call back a little later on this afternoon. Let me know what they say. And if I don't hear from you, I'm going to go ahead and put this contract through.
Nice. So a commitment without a commitment.
Exactly.
Wow.
And a lot of individuals don't call you back.
So it becomes a default win.
Yes.
Wow, that's some good stuff. Welcome in.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on our show today and sharing your knowledge and your vast knowledge in sales. And how much money have you made in sales? Period. In the work industry, when you're in the work industry.
Wow, my first year working in sales, I was hired at $6.83 an hour. And that year, I made $90,000.
Wow.
Yes. Off of all the incentives and the commissions. But I only made $6.83 an hour.
But you made the company $90,000 that year in sales.
No. I made that. Off of $6.83, off of my commissions and sales contact tests and all that. That's how much I made.
So, wait, your base salary, I'm just trying to process this. You know, you were $6 and something cents an hour.
Mm-hmm.
With all of the commissions and all of the incentives, you maxed out at $90,000 a year.
Yes, I did.
Who said it can't be done?
It can be done.
Wow,
It can be done.
90,000, making a $6 less. That was less than minimum wage.
Yes. Well, at that time, it wasn't less than minimum wage.
It was minimum wage.
It was minimum wage,
Okay.
yes.
Wow. That's impressive.
I didn't have any sales experience when I came into the position. The position actually wasn't even a sales position. They just said, if you sell this, you get this, and these are the incentives that you get. And I was excited. I'm like, you mean to tell me I get all of this if I do this? And then that's how my sales career started.
Wow. So you
Yes.
came up with ways on how to sell different products to make that incentive. Good stuff.
Yes.
So you know what? We're going to start a new business right now on the Let's Talk Show with Camille. And the business is going to be, if you need mentoring from a sales perspective, Camille is available. I'm only asking for 10% because we launched it on the Let's Talk Show. But for real though, if you need mentoring in sales and how to package and how to put things together, listen, you can link up with Camille, and Camille will be willing in her very minute spare time to provide some type of service. Is that right, Camille? We're starting that
Absolutely.
business today. What's the name of the business? What are we going to call it?
You got to work it.
I love it. You gotta work it. Entrepreneurs, thank you so much. And man, we just launched some business. I don't know. We didn't even need no investors. You gotta listen, if you want to work your business and you need help with sales, because Camille would agree that as an entrepreneur, your first duty is not a CEO title. Your first duty is to maximize to becoming a salesperson. And I'm so honored that we're starting. You got to work it. And you can get a hold of Camille, and she will tell you how you can maximize your sales for your company. Amen. So Camille,
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amen, for your knowledge and for just sharing with us. I really enjoyed the conversation today, and I'm sure that we've said something to help entrepreneurs really pay attention and to wake up and to realize that, listen, as an entrepreneur, you got to work it. You got to do the work to take your business to the next level. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, put God first and all else will follow. Bye now. You got to work it. We're starting our business.
If there's something on
We
your
want to thank you for
mind,
watching today's show. If you'd like to request a copy of today's show, please contact us at area code 813-971-5372. We would love to hear from you. Drop us a line at letstalkshow@verizon.net or subscribe to our Facebook page and leave a comment. If you feel this show has been a blessing to you and would like to assist in keeping this show on the air, you can make your donations via PayPal or mail your checks to the address on the screen. Please tune in to next week's show. And as always, if you want to talk about it, let's talk.
if there's something on your mind.